errand. Today, I'm gonna do this, trying to do this kind of quick. Yeah, so I'm going to be Helen Sharp for Halloween. Kind of last minute thing, not the idea, but just doing it because I've been so incredibly busy this month. Like every year I say I need to start Halloween earlier and earlier, and I never do it. So, uh, you know, I'm running late here, but I'm going to show you how to do the top from scratch, which I'm hoping should come together pretty quickly. I mean, the rest of the costume is just, regular black heels. You could find that at any thrift store. Like black cigarette pants or black capri leggings. Like, it's very basic except for the shirt. We'll just take a little bit of time. Hopefully I can whip this together in about 3 hours, and then maybe we can go out tonight, me and my family, for a zombie walk. Oh, outfit would be so great for a zombie walk. So let me show you how to do the pattern, and then we'll get to the fabric. Well, first let me talk about the fabric. So the fabric here that I wanted to point out that I got as a suggestion, of course, if you cannot access these fabrics, this is just like an easy, it's a good suggestion. So the shirt that Helen Sharp wears is kind of like a sweater, and if you pay attention to the video, the sleeves are sheer like. The only thing I was kind of disappointed about was that at the store I went to, Joann's, which is like get all my fabric from, they have a mesh that's stretchy, and I could not find it, so I just got basic, chiffon like material, which is, it's see-through, but I wanted it to be stretchy for this, for range of motion sake. But these two are from Joann's, and the color is called Tango Red, and this one is just like a stretchy knit. Remember, easy to wear. And then for the black hole in her stomach, I just got some black PVC, and I'm going to use that as the hole. You're also going to need, when we start the pattern, as I stated this in my Gem and the Holograms video, I'm using my gridded wrapping paper to do my paper pattern. You're also going to need a yardstick and a measuring tape, marker, and then some other things for the costume. You're going to need a hot glue gun, which I'll explain why later, and some black paint. I have black acrylic paint and some paint brushes. I'll have all that listed in the description below, but I'm just running through it real quick. So let's start off with the sleeves, shall we? Okay, so for the sleeves, I'll repeat this in case you've never seen any of my other videos. The sleeves is about, in this case, because I want the sleeves to be moderately snug, not too tight, not too loose, I'm going to take 4 measurements for my sleeve, okay? First things first, I'm going to do my armhole, which, if you can see here, I'm just going around my armhole, and I'm going to measure what is this? Okay, so I'm measuring 20, okay? That's going to be, that's going to be the top of your sleeve, which connects right here when you sew it, okay? So I have my white paper, I have my green marker so you can see. So here's 20 inches, right? That's freaking, can you see that? Let me see. That's freaking humongous, so that's not right. But I drew the line so we can have a starting point. So, let us make the line, because you know how sleeves, they all have like that, they have a hump. Let's see if you can see this. Oh, still can't see it, it's terrible. Well, I'll show you in a bit. So I'm going to draw another line. I'm going to redo this line, except I'm going to, also measure your bicep, which is this part, right? I know I'm fat, but I love Whataburger. What can I say? My bicep is 14. That's to give it a little bit of wiggle room. So I'm going to make this line 14 inches long. So now the line is from here to here, but I still need to make it 20. So what I'm going to do is, and if you need to cut like a sleeve off an old shirt so you can kind of, you know, trace that curve that's on top, that added curve is going to be the one that's going to give us my 20 inches, okay? I don't know how well you can see that. I will get close-ups right now. So now I'm going to measure my curve and see where it's at. So right now I'm at 18.5 inches. So I need about 1 and 3/4 inch left. So I'm just going to make this a little bit longer on this side and a little bit longer just to like trail it out just a little bit. These sleeves, you gotta just keep doing it until you get that armhole measurement. Because the armhole measurement has to match the hole in the shirt. Here we go, 20 inches. Okay, so right now up here, from here to here, and there's, I'll show you right now, it's just like a little trailing off that I did. Can you see that? Whoa. Can you see that? The little trailing off I did. That's okay, that makes the 20 inches. Now, how long is our sleeve? That, you take the measurement from up here, where your shoulder starts, you know, never take your measurement like when your arm's completely bended, and, you know, just let it hang way off to the side. And I can see mine is 22. So 22, so now we know that it's 22. So from our line here that we have, from the beginning to the end, let's find a center point so that way when we get down to the wrist, we have an equal way of making the wrist wide enough, so it's equal. Okay, so this is 16.5, so 8.25 is the center point of that. Can you see that little notch? That's the center point of that sleeve. Then we're going to make a line. That's why I love this grid paper too, because it's so great. It helps me keep even. So there's my line right there, and I'm just going to draw another line straight. That's not going to be the whole sleeve, but just for reference, and it helps me keep this organized in my mind as I'm doing it. Let me see, do I need to turn on the light here? Okay, so now we have beginning and we have the end. And I told you before, once you have the beginning and the end, just go ahead and use your scissors and start chopping up stuff. You don't need it, it's in our way. Start downsizing. So now we already did our bicep. Now let's try and get the middle. Let's see how wide is the elbow. Because remember, I kind of want this to follow the shape of my arm, but not super tight because that fabric does not stretch. So 12, my elbow is 12. So I'm going to measure from my shoulder. Where does my elbow start? About 14 inches down. So I'm going to mark that with this. And I know that here's my center line. I already marked it. So now I can equally space out those 7 inches because my elbow is 14 inches. So I'm going to put the 7 right here on that midline, and I'm going to make a line over here and over here where it's 14. Now I'm going to measure my wrist, which I know is going to be down here at the bottom of the paper. I think my wrist is like 7. Yeah, I'll do 8, just so that way I don't have a hard time trying to get my hand through it. So again, I'm going to bring the line down And since I'm going to be doing 8, I'm going to put the number 4 on this line in the middle, my midpoint. Another line to the side, a line at the 8 mark. And now I'm going to try and just connect the dots. Again, I will bring this closer right now so you can see all my markings and see how this makes sense to you. So I'll make a line here and a line here. Okay. I did go off a little bit on my elbows, but it's not that bad. So perhaps I just need to bring it out a little more. Even if it increases the width of my wrist, that's okay. And again, that's only because this fabric is not stretching. So I really need to make that work. Okay, so before I cut this out, let me get the camera closer so you can see all my markings, so you can see what I've been doing, like it makes sense. Okay, so you see this is my 20 inches, okay, bicep is across, this was the elbow, and then down here is the wrist. So when I cut this out, this is going to be my sleeve pattern, and I'm going to cut 2 of them because I have 2 arms, obviously, and then now we'll get started on the top. Okay, so I'm going to use my mannequin for this one just so that way you can see. I mean, I could do it all ghetto right now with my arm, but for the shirt part, I want you to be able to see exactly what I'm doing. So the first thing we're going to start off with, and get like a notebook or get a piece of paper and pencil out so you can write these down, is we need to get the back measurement. The back measurement is, on this mannequin, I'm going to do it, it's usually like right here where your armpit starts, like from the back, so it's like from here to here. In this case, this one is like 13 and a half. But when I do it, let me see if I can do this properly. Mine's like 19 inches. Let me just kind of compare it. It's hard to do it by yourself, I know, but it's possible. Okay, so about 18 inches mine is. So that's first measurement, okay? Again, like I did with the armholes on the shirt for the sleeve, you're gonna just do your armhole again, which it still should be 20. So if it's not, go back and adjust your sleeve measurement, that hump for the shoulder. And then you're going to need your bust, obviously. So you're going to come around right over the nipples, measure that. Then you're going to need your waist, which is the smallest part of your torso. Then you're going to need the torso measurement, because when you do it flat, you need to know the distance from your shoulder to where your waist actually starts to put the waistline in. So you need to know where does the waistline start. On this mannequin, it starts at 16 inches. Yours might be different. It probably is. Mine's kind of low. Mine starts at about 19 and a half inches. And it also depends like how big your boobs are, will alter that number. So we need that, and then of course your length. Okay? How long do you want this t-shirt or this blouse? This is 29 inches. Most shirts are about 27 inches. If you're taller with a longer torso, you're probably looking at about 29, 30 inches for a shirt. But that's up to you. That's all up to you. And then lastly, Helen Sharp's hole in her stomach is, I would say, somewhere, it's not dead center in her belly button. I would say it's like the bottom of the hole is almost starting. It's a little bit lower. So like here's my belly button. So like if I was to have the hole's not going to start at my belly button, which is right here. It's going to be like maybe like half an inch down from the belly button. Does that make sense? So I mean, just Google pictures of this so you could see a good reference of where the hole's going to be. I'm going to use a paper plate, like the paper plates that have the little ridges around it, and I'm going to cut out that little smaller circle in the middle of that paper plate as the template for my hole in the stomach hole, and I will use the black PVC as a fabric for that cutout. So let me go ahead and put all of these together. I'll show you how I do my pattern, and then go ahead and cut out your fabric, and then we'll get to sewing, okay? Okay, so here we are with the back. Mine was 18 and a half. That's 18 right there. Oh, another measurement I forgot to mention. So you know how where the neck hole is going to start? Take a measurement from where the hole starts in your shirt on your neck to like the edge of your shoulder. Get that measurement. Mine is 6. So from the edge of the shoulder, ooh, this is terrible lighting. So from the edge of the shoulder, with that weird measurement, well, not that it's weird, but maybe you didn't ever think to take that measurement. And mine's 6 here, so do 6 here, and then it's 10, 6 right there. Okay, and then I'm just going to draw a really crappy hole, but that's kind of where we're going with this. And then remember, right here, where it starts, I always go up 1/2 inch, because with me and my body, it always seems to work out this way. That's just how my shoulders slope, and then I'm going to connect the dots. That's terrible. I'll do that right now with my ruler, but hopefully you get the gist of it. That, and I have that, and then I'm just going to kind of fix my neck hole a little bit. Also, same thing with the armhole. From here, the start point of the edge of the shoulder, since mine was 20, I'm going to cut that number in half, and I'm going to come down 10. Okay, let me just draw a line. Again, this line is just for reference. I hope you can see that. So here's 10 inches, and then it starts up here. Now that I have the end of my armhole, because I have this gridded paper, I can already go across the whole shirt. So you can see where my bust line is going to start. Now with the bust line measurement, you're going to divide that by 2. Okay, so mine's 41, so I know that's going to be 20 and a half. And I'm just making that midpoint line to help me stay centered. So 20 and a half right here. So I'm going to draw a line here and 20 and a half over here. So you see these 2 lines? Now what I'm going to do, from where my shoulder starts to this bust line measurement over here, I'm going to just kind of draw in a little curve to meet it. Okay? And I won't even copy it on the other side. I'll just cut this pattern in half and then just do this on the fold. It'll be quicker that way. Now, from the top of the shoulder, we're going to work on the waistline. I'm going to go down, and I know that my waist starts here, about 19 inches down. So again, I'm going to draw another line. Okay. drawing another line. This is my waist. Okay. And again, I'm going to bring my midpoint line down because I need to know how to equally space that waist measurement. My waist measurement, I believe, is 34. So I'm going to chop 34 and a half. So 34 and a half is 17 and a quarter, I guess, yeah. So we're at 17 and a half, and then you have to chop that number in half just to get that midline. So that's 8 and a half. So on this midpoint line, I'm just going to move my ruler over to where that midpoint line is on 8 and a half, and I'm going to do a line here, line here. So now I have lines and lines and lines. Last line is the length. So let's start from the top of the shoulder, and look at that. I want my shirt to be 29 inches long. So I'm going to draw another line down here, and then we can start connecting the dots some more and cutting. Okay, that's down here. Remember, I'm only going to do it on this side of the paper because I'm going to cut my pattern paper in half and then just do the symbol for cut on fold, and then we'll be done with it. And then lastly, let's go ahead and, because the shirt is not going to come in like that, you know, it does go in like a peak, right? So you're going to connect the line here to here, which is from the armpit to the waist. Then you got to kind of come out somewhat. So what I want to do is I'm just going to match my bust line. If you want to measure your low hip, your high hip, which is like around your belly button or lower, past that, measure around like under your belly button, and then use that as the bottom width of what your shirt's going to be like. So I just drew a straight line down just to mark where I want my shirt to be. Now before I cut this, let me bring my camera back down so you can see it, because I know the glare is not helping anymore. So you can see here, I just drew a straight line down to the bottom of the shirt. You see my waist measurement comes in here, and then I just connect the dot again. So from here to here. So you can see it curve in the way female cut shirts are. So now I'm going to start cutting, because I am ready. So here we go. Oh, and I just gotta cut this part way down here. Okay, so I'm just going to do the symbol for cut on fold, which, if you didn't know, and you're trying to learn how to do these patterns and stuff, it looks like this. It's an arrow like that. You see what I did right there? That's the cut on the fold line. So when I put this on the fabric, the fold is going to be right here. So when I cut it, I cut the whole piece for the there's going to be no middle seam. It's just going to open it up, and there's that one big piece. But at least it'll be equal, like here and over there. I am going to double check the neckline, because it's kind of like escaped my mind for the moment. I'm going to double check the neckline for that sweater that she wears. I believe it's like this, but I could be wrong. If I am, then I'll go back later and I'll put this on a mannequin, and then I'll kind of just eyeball to cut it out. But yeah, let's start sewing. So on the sleeves, we're going to cut 2 of the sleeves, and then for the paper that has the fold, cut 1 on the fold for the front and 1 on the fold for the back. It's going to be a pullover style, so you're going to cut 2 of these on the fold, okay? You're not supposed to have a center seam, because when you open it up, it's going to be like the whole shirt, like here, like how there's no, like no one sewed it in half, you know what I mean? So you're going to cut 2 of these on the fold. And then of course cut your black circle out of the PVC for the hole in the stomach. And then we'll get to that part a little later when I incorporate the hot glue, because I don't want it just to be like a smooth surface around where the bullet hole entry was. I want it to be kind of like raised and texturized and stuff like that. So that's why I'm using the glue gun. Let's go ahead and pin and cut. All right. Okay, so quick thing. I double checked the picture of Goldie Hawn's red shirt through Google, and she does have, how could I forget this? She has a very deep V-neck. So when I cut this, I'm going to just pretend the ruler line is like the cut line. I'm going to cut like this, and then that'll give me the deep V. Of course, you only want to cut it like that on one side. So I'm going to cut it with the normal neckline for the back. You do not have the deep V for the back. It's just for the front. So I just wanted to make a quick note of that before anybody starts cutting. So, okay.